Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract money effortlessly, while others, no matter how hard they try, remain trapped in the cycle of lack? It's not blind luck. Consciously or not, the first group lives in harmony with the law of thought. And that's only the first step toward understanding true abundance. The law of thought. Thoughts that create money. Imagine the universe as a printer. It doesn't argue. It doesn't judge. It simply takes your dominant thoughts and prints them into reality. Think of debt, it prints debt. Focus on opportunities, it creates opportunities. A thought is not just a fleeting spark. It's energy. A fine vibration you send into the world. Your command to the universe, create this. Your brain is an incredible generator of these commands. Like an antenna, it constantly emits a signal. And if that signal is tuned to lack, fear, doubt, that's exactly what you'll see reflected in your financial life. But the moment you consciously shift this antenna to the frequency of abundance, gratitude, and confidence, the universe's printer begins to create a completely different picture. Remember this, every thought is like a drop of ink falling into clear water. Even the smallest drop changes the color of the whole. Now imagine you're consciously dropping thoughts of wealth, opportunities, and gratitude into your life, every single day. What color will your reality take on then? We all go through different states. And yes, thoughts of lack, fear, and worry will sometimes come. But they only pull you under if you give them all your energy. The choice is always yours. Stop feeding them. Fear can become a push toward action, instead of paralyzing you. Anxiety can become a reason for deeper analysis, instead of a trip to the store for another bottle. We decide whether an emotion will be our fuel or our destroyer. Never forget, it's only you and your life. Learn to handle your emotions. Let each one serve your good. And here, I want to share with you a simple but powerful practice. My personal technique that helps me stay focused and bring dreams into reality. I call it the dream deposit. When my partner and I dreamed of traveling, we opened a savings account. And every single day, without missing once, we added something. Sometimes just a small amount. Sometimes up to 10% of any income. The amount didn't matter. What mattered was the ritual. The action itself. Every deposit was a signal to the universe, I'm serious. I'm walking toward this. I'm ready to receive it. And the money for that trip came much faster than we expected. Not because of some outer magic, but because of a shift in our inner program. Each deposit was not just money. It was a conscious step in the right direction. A daily workout for the mind. A command to the brain, I choose abundance. I create abundance. So ask yourself, if every single day you trained your mind this way, confirming it with one simple action, where would you be 1 year from now? The law of thought was just the starting point. You've seen how thoughts can build or destroy your wealth, and that you have the power to choose them. Now, it's time to understand how those thoughts are carried into the universe. And why some of them manifest faster and clearer than others. The law of vibration. Your inner state is either a magnet for money, or the reason it slips away. Think of yourself as a living antenna of energy. You're constantly broadcasting vibrations into the universe, born from your thoughts and, even more importantly, from your feelings about money. These vibrations don't vanish into thin air. They act like magnets, attracting existing energy programs already floating in the field of the universe. When your antenna sends out vibrations of fear, tension, constant worry about money, you're literally inviting in the programs of scarcity, lack, and financial failure. They feed on your fear. They grow stronger and show up in your life as debts, losses, missed opportunities. Like parasites, draining your life force. But when you choose to cultivate vibrations of gratitude, genuine joy, love, for yourself, for the world, for the work you do, and when you live with ease and inner calm, your antenna shifts. Suddenly you're broadcasting a completely different signal. And in response, the universe sends you programs of abundance, prosperity, luck, and effortless success. The universe doesn't judge. It simply responds. It allows whatever programs you feed with your vibration to become your reality. The key is conscious choice. Which programs will you nourish? That's why it's so important to align your inner state with your affirmations. Because saying, "I'm rich," while feeling needy inside won't work. A false vibration cannot attract abundance. Here's a little hack. Add the phrase, "Thanks to the divine, and I agree with this," to your affirmations. It helps the mind believe. For example, "Everything works out for me with ease and joy, thanks to the divine, and I agree with this." This harmonizes your vibration with trust, acceptance, and gratitude. We always receive what we believe in. If you believe it's impossible to live honestly, you'll keep meeting people who deceive you. If you believe the world is full of opportunities and always takes care of you, that's exactly how life unfolds. That's when luck happens. Coincidences align. The right people appear. Life is much lighter than it seems, and you already feel it. That's why you're watching this video right now. All that's left is to believe. Quantum physics and psychology confirm it. Our emotional states create powerful energy fields. And those fields shape events, pulling in scenarios that match our inner frequency. So, how do you consciously feed the programs of abundance? Here's what works for me. Every morning and every night, I read affirmations to set my state. I've shared examples, completely free, through the links below this video. Use them for your benefit. I also practice gratitude daily. Notice and give thanks for everything you already have, especially the material things. Gratitude is pure energy, it nourishes the brightest programs. Treat money with lightness and respect. See it as energy, flowing through you for good deeds and joy, not as a source of problems. When you shop, tell yourself, "I easily buy everything I want." When you receive money, say, "Money attracts more money." Simple words. But when practiced consistently, they work powerfully. Remember the wisdom of the ancients, where attention goes, energy flows. Master the art of managing your vibrations, and choosing the programs you want to see in your life. And we'll be ready to move on to the next law. The law of attraction. What multiplies is whatever unites your heart and your mind. There's a funny story. A man is riding on a bus, frowning to himself. Life is terrible. My boss is an idiot. My wife. Money is never enough. Behind him stands his guardian angel, writing it all down, sighing. Strange orders he keeps sending, and the same ones every day. But since he asks, I must deliver. We attract into our lives whatever holds our dominant focus. The universe, like a diligent angel, simply fulfills the inner order, whether we want it or not. And when it comes to money, this law never fails. Picture it this way. There are countless timelines, countless versions of reality. Your inner focus, your prevailing state of being, acts like a switch. It shifts you onto the line where your desired financial abundance already exists, or is easiest to reach. You're not just drifting passively with the current, you're actively moving to a more favorable reality through the power of your attention. But here lies a subtle trap, our expectations. Many people, once they set a goal, fall into tense, almost desperate waiting. When will it finally happen? Why isn't it here yet? This state blocks attraction. Why? Because it broadcasts lack. It breeds inner tension, doubt, fear of failure. And worst of all, it distracts you from the joy of creating, shifting your focus from the beauty of the journey to the anxiety of the destination. The truth is, the point isn't just reaching the goal and stopping there. It's the process of growing, unfolding, creating. So once you've envisioned your desired reality and started moving toward it, it's vital to cultivate this inner mindset. I pursue my goals, but I choose to be happy regardless of the outcome. Whether I achieve them or not, I choose joy here and now, on the path itself. This isn't giving up on your dreams. It's releasing excess tension. It's allowing the universe to work in the best possible way for you, without limiting it with your rigid deadlines. Everything has its time, so trust the flow, and savor the present moment. For the law of attraction to truly work, you need intention. Not just a vague wish, but a clear decision, backed by daily action, even the smallest step. And what about negative thoughts around money? Don't fear them. Transform them consciously. Say a fine appears, for example. Instead of despair, thank the universe for sending the lesson through money, and not something far worse. It's simply a signal, balance has been disturbed. Reflect on which thoughts or actions led to this, and decide how to act differently next time. Only new approaches bring new results. Here's a powerful practice: write down your ideal financial reality. Where do you live? Who's with you? What do you do? How does money flow in? The clearer and more vivid the picture, the stronger the focus. The more precise the order for the universe. Remember that fascinating experiment in quantum physics: the observer changes the observed. You are that observer. With focused attention, you help your chosen reality step out from the field of possibilities into existence. Begin to see yourself as that person, with love in your heart, and gratitude to the Creator. As Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "A man is what he thinks about all day long." Your thoughts about money, your focus, they are the magnet shaping your financial destiny. You consciously choose, and attract, the reality that matches your state. But attraction is only half the work. What's drawn in must also align with you. And that brings us to the next law, the one that explains why your inner world is the measure of your outer abundance. The Law of Correspondence. The world doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are right now. We've already seen how our thoughts create vibrations. How those vibrations attract certain events and opportunities, including money. But have you ever wondered why sometimes, even when what you desire does appear, it doesn't last? Or doesn't bring the joy you expected? That's where the Law of Correspondence steps in. Here's a beautiful story. There was once a gardener who dreamed of growing the finest roses in the land. He bought the best seedlings, fed the soil, watered them carefully. But the roses bloomed weakly, and quickly withered. In despair, he went to an old sage. The sage asked, "What do you feel while tending to your roses?" The gardener admitted, "Anxiety, fear they won't blossom. Doubt that I'm doing something wrong." The sage smiled. "My friend, a rose feels your heart. Care for it only with love, with joy in the process, without expectation, and you'll see a miracle." The gardener followed the advice. He began humming to his roses, speaking to them with affection. "Good morning in the dawn. Sweet dreams at night." Over time, he felt unity with his roses, as if his love for them became their love in return. Soon, his garden was the most magnificent in the land, drawing wonder from everyone who saw it. Roses, like money, blossom where the inner state of the Creator matches them. To truly live at a certain level of abundance, your inner self must align with it. Your core beliefs, your self-worth, your readiness to receive wealth and use it wisely, all must resonate with the wealth you seek. Think of people who suddenly win the lottery or inherit fortunes. How often does the money vanish just as quickly? Why? Because their inner capacity wasn't ready to hold such abundance. Their beliefs, habits, and self-image didn't match that level of wealth. So what makes up this inner correspondence with money? It begins with beliefs. Deep programs we often inherit in childhood. Money is evil. You can't earn much honestly. If someone's rich, they must be corrupt. As long as these programs are active, they sabotage your prosperity. The key is to recognize, challenge, and replace them with beliefs that support abundance. The second factor, self-esteem. It all starts with self-love. The way you value yourself directly sets the limit on how much good you allow into your life. Low self-worth is like an invisible barrier. It pushes money away, or makes you feel guilty or unworthy of enjoying it. Put simply, before you can truly desire money, you must desire to love yourself. Then wealth becomes the natural consequence. But be honest with yourself. Some limiting beliefs hide so deeply that it's hard to see them alone. In that case, don't waste years struggling. See a professional. A single consultation with a skilled psychologist, with a clear request. I want to change my beliefs about money. Can bring breakthroughs you've waited for your whole life. Here's a simple test. Repeat these phrases after me, and notice how they feel. I am someone who loves money, and I agree with this. I am someone who loves success, and I agree with this. I am someone who loves prosperity, and I agree with this. I am someone who loves abundance, and I agree with this. I am someone who is magnificent in all I do, and I agree with this. What did you feel? If there was discomfort, that's a sign. Repeat these phrases every morning until they feel natural. Then they'll become part of your reality. As Carl Gustav Jung once said, "Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakens." The law of correspondence is an invitation to awaken. To look within, to align your inner world with the abundance you truly seek. And remember, it's not about hiding your gifts, but sharing them. The universe always responds with abundance to the value you create. And this leads us to the next powerful law. The law of reaping. The universe always pays its debts. The quality and quantity of what you receive in life, in money, relationships, health, and opportunities, is directly determined by the quality and quantity of what you give to the world. The universe keeps perfect accounts. Do you choose to plant seeds of love, generosity, support, creation, and responsibility? Or are your seeds criticism, resentment, fear, and inaction? The harvest always matches the planting. The law of reaping is, above all, about conscious responsibility for every seed you sow. Every moment, you choose who you are being right now. Are you creating yourself, or destroying yourself? Are you loving others, or harming others? And remember, the universe does not divide your life into work, home, or hobbies. It sees you as one whole. You may earn great money, but if you spread negativity around you, the consequences will show up elsewhere: broken relationships, health issues, inner emptiness. Because your state of harmony, your sense of fulfillment, is a far more precious currency than any balance on a bank account. Take the story of Oprah Winfrey. Her brother died of AIDS. Her sister, from an overdose. As a child, she was beaten by her grandmother. At 9 years old, abused by her uncle. At 14, she gave birth to a child who later died. Her childhood was marked by deep trauma. Yet she did not close her heart in pain. She transformed it into compassion, into wisdom, into a burning desire to help others. She took her suffering and turned it into light for the world. That was her journey of discovering who she truly is, and who she chooses to be. This is the essence of the law of reaping. Choose love, no matter what happens. Without darkness, you cannot know the value of light. Without shining, you cannot know the strength of your own light. Later, she used her talent to create shows that didn't just entertain, but educated, uplifted, inspired. Her genuine desire to serve people, to share wisdom, to give a voice to those unheard, built immense trust and love. By the age of 30, she was a national figure. By 40, known worldwide. Today, she is a billionaire, and still doing the same thing. Educating. Inspiring. Encouraging people to grow, to read, to talk about what matters. She simply does it on a much larger scale, and the world continues to respond with even greater generosity. Of course, she must have been afraid at times. But when fear comes, ask yourself, what would love do in my place? And here's a powerful way to experience this law in your own life. Pay it forward. Here is the experiment. Over the next 3 years, help 3 different people in ways that truly matter. Help them in a way that makes them stronger, that gives them more opportunities, not in a way that feeds weakness or creates dependence. The help must be so real that they sincerely want to thank you. And when they do, refuse the thanks. Say instead, if you truly want to thank me, one day help 3 others in return, without asking for anything back. 3 years. 3 people. 3 acts of kindness. When you do this, your sense of self will change. You will know your value, your positive impact on the world. And such a person naturally attracts new opportunities and resources. That is why, within those 3 years, any significant dream you hold can come true. So dream boldly, and join the experiment. The situations to help will find you. And just imagine the feeling when one day you hear someone say to another, "Don't thank me. If you really want to thank me, help 3 more people." That is when you'll see the true power of your influence. Because we are all connected. The law of reaping is simple and just. The universe always pays its debts. The more genuine value, love, joy, and positive energy you invest into the world through your unique talents, your actions, your very being, the more abundant and multifaceted the return will be, in every area of your life. But how do we measure this return? And how do we avoid the trap of comparing ourselves to others, losing the joy of our own path? That is the lesson of the next law. Everything is known through comparison. The law of relativity. Everything is understood in comparison. Imagine mountains. To an eagle soaring high above, they are just part of the landscape. To a climber scaling a sheer cliff, they are a challenge demanding every ounce of strength. To an artist painting them at sunrise, they are a source of inspiration. The mountains are the same, but perception differs. So it is with our world, so it is with the path to abundance. Everything is relative. The universe does not set a universal price on happiness or success. What is a peak achievement for one person may be merely the foothill of the mountain for another. The law of relativity teaches us, stop measuring your journey with someone else's ruler. The only comparison that matters is who you are today versus who you were yesterday. Celebrate your progress. Value each step on your unique path. In our age of information abundance, especially with social media, we constantly risk falling into the trap of comparison. Glossy pictures of others' success create the illusion that everyone else lives brighter, richer, happier lives. But that is just a facade, hiding their own struggles and costs. This kind of comparison erodes self-esteem and steals joy. Recognize it and make a conscious choice. Stop feeding the illusion. Focus on your own growth, on what fills you and inspires you, be it books, creativity, or genuine human connection. Remember, even the hardest circumstances are relative. What seems insurmountable today may, from a different perspective, become a priceless lesson or a path to new heights. Recall Albert Einstein's words, "When you sit next to a lovely girl, an hour feels like a minute. But sit on a hot stove, and a minute feels like an hour." Everything is relative. This principle is universal. $1,000 may be a fortune for a student but a trivial amount for a millionaire. What matters is not the absolute value, but your relationship with it. Your ability to see worth and opportunity in what you have right now, in your current stage of life. Keep your focus on growth and possibilities, not limitations. To master your perception and apply the law of relativity to financial and emotional well-being, try this simple yet powerful exercise. Whenever you face a situation your mind labels as negative or problematic, especially in financial matters, ask yourself 3 questions. What good or useful outcome might this situation bring me in the long run? What can I compare this situation to so it feels less significant or even positive? What lesson can I learn from this to become stronger, wiser, and more effective in the future? This habit will help shift your focus from "why is this happening to me" to "why is this happening for me?" Our entire world is built on the principles of relativity. Without evil, we would not know good. Without darkness, we would not recognize light. Without the bad, we would not understand what is truly good. This knowledge helps us make conscious choices about who we want to be right now, and our choices shape our lives. We are a reflection of what we are inside. Understanding the relativity of all things is the key to inner harmony. This harmony interacts with the natural cycles of life. And the next law will teach us how to live in alignment with the universe's cycles. Trust me, this knowledge can transform how you experience all the ups and downs along your path. The law of rhythm. After winter comes spring. Picture a farmer planting seeds and waiting for sprouts. A week passes, then another, nothing. He begins to panic, thinking the seeds are bad, the soil is wrong. Then, when hope is nearly gone, the first shoots appear, and eventually, he harvests abundantly. Everything has its own timing, its own rhythm. It's the same with finances. Sometimes we put in effort, and results don't appear immediately. It's important not to despair but to understand that the universe operates in cycles. After night always comes day. The key measure is whether you enjoy the process of your efforts. This matters more than the outcome. Everything in this world moves in cycles. Day follows night, winter yields to spring, inhalation follows exhalation. Trying to stop this is fighting the very nature of life. The wisdom of the law of rhythm is learning to recognize these cycles, accept them, and move harmoniously with them. The law of rhythm manifests at all levels. We feel the influence of the moon phases. New moon, a time for ideas and planning. Waxing moon, for action and starting new projects. Full moon, peak energy, a time to evaluate accomplishments. Waning moon, for completing tasks, reflection, and letting go. Even our personal year has its rhythm. A birthday marks our personal spring, the start of a new cycle full of energy and potential. 3 months later comes summer, the peak of activity and achievement. Autumn brings the fruits of our efforts, and winter, leading up to the next birthday, is a natural period of decline, a time for reflection and rest. Many notice a touch of melancholy before their birthday. This is simply your personal winter. Every project or endeavor unfolds in a similar cyclical principle of constant improvement. Plan, act, analyze, adjust, and start a new cycle on a higher level. To live in harmony with the law of rhythm and harness its power for prosperity, do not panic during slow periods. A farmer does not dig up seeds after 1 week. If they haven't sprouted, he knows it takes time. Ask yourself, what can I learn in this period? What new knowledge or skills should I acquire? What actions can produce new results? How can I care for myself to restore energy? Use this time for inner growth and preparation. During periods of financial abundance, act boldly and decisively. Invest your energy, time, and resources. Expand, pursue ambitious goals. But remember wisdom, create a safety net. Save part of your harvest for the inevitable slow periods. When you live in harmony with the law of rhythm, fear of change gives way to deep trust in life. You understand that every decline is only the prelude to a new rise. Every winter promises the coming spring. But what lies at the foundation of all this? Which fundamental energies govern all processes in the universe, including the creation of abundance? The next profound law will reveal this to us. The law of masculine and feminine. Abundance is born from balance. This law explains how the invisible becomes visible, how ideas take shape, and how dreams turn into reality. It is the law of masculine and feminine energy, the law of the interaction between two great creative forces. Imagine the sun and the moon. They are like two aspects of one great energy. One illuminates, the other reflects. One leads outward, the other leads inward. One gives warmth during the day, the other brings calm at night. The sun represents the masculine energy. It is active, direct, and guiding. The energy of intention, focus, logic, and action. It is the clear light that illuminates your path, helping you see your goal and move toward it. The sun does not wait, it shines. It is your ability to step forward, show your willpower, take risks, and assert yourself. In financial matters, it is the ability to set a clear goal, take responsibility, act with confidence, and move toward your results. The moon represents the feminine energy. It is soft, receptive, and mysteriously wise. It does not create light, it reflects and amplifies it. The moon senses subtle signals, feels rhythms and cycles. It is your intuition, flexibility, and the ability to observe, accept, and nurture. In the realm of money, it is the ability to gratefully receive income, trust the process, and feel the right moment to invest or rest. It is the inner quiet where wisdom grows. In life, you cannot only shine, you must also rest. You cannot only reflect, you must also radiate. Abundance comes when you can both shine and receive light. When you combine the sun's determination with the moon's sensitivity, you become a creator capable not just of dreaming, but of manifesting. Balance planning with intuition, action with patience, words with silence. Give space for both the sun and the moon in every day, in every decision. I used to direct my energy outward, trying to earn, please, and help everyone, while I myself remained in lack of money, love, and health. Now everything is different, since I began living according to these laws. You may have thought you were just watching an informative video. But in reality, this is not just knowledge. This is a complete, step-by-step plan that can change not only your financial situation but your entire life. If you truly want change and are ready to take responsibility for your abundance, grab a notebook or open your Notes app. Watch again and write down your actions for each of the 8 laws. Let this action plan become a daily part of your life, and then share your plan in the comments. Perhaps your words will become a turning point for someone else. And by reading other plans, you can find inspiration and enrich your own ideas. My plan is part of my journey, which I adjust with each new level of understanding. It is a path where all my energy goes into realizing my soul's purpose. I sincerely wish you to turn your attention inward. All the answers are within you. Be happy, healthy, loved, and truly wealthy in every sense of the word.